and welcome to MonoRants at the Movies, a podcast where we rewatch our favourite cult and lesser known films and do our best not to make them sound like absolute garbage. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and doing absolutely nothing to get out of harm's way while I battle Yakuza is my co-host and master of none, Kira. Say hello, Kira.
Hello. Fucking deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Quite fitting.
Yes, indeed. Because today we're talking about 1995's Crying Freeman. It's one of the earliest Western live-action adaptions of a manga, and parts of it may be a bit rocky, but we find it thoroughly enjoyable, and we've rewatched it many's a time.
It's got Mark Dacascos in it.
Yeah, it's one of the first things I ever saw Mark Dacascos
It's got Mark Dacascos in it. If you know
Yeah.
who I'm talking about, and you would very much like to see him in nothing but a tiny jockstrap.
This is definitely the movie for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mark Dacascos in this.
Go put a coin in the jar.
Nope, I'm proud of that one. But yeah,
Coin jar.
But before we get any further, I'm sensing a little bit of a trend in the movies we're covering.
What?
Well, one, at the start of each of the reviews, we've been kind of shitting on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes for a little while, but today we don't have to.
Does it actually have a good rating?
No, it has no rating.
There's honestly no rating?
On Metacritic, there's no rating, and on Rotten Tomatoes, there's no rating because they're obviously... It's in 1995, so I'm guessing most of the reviews back then were only print.
But there's reviews for other review things have gone back and
but their review.
Them.
I think a lot of the Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes, their review aggregates come from New York Times reviews and like respected journals and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not going to take reviews off Manga websites or things. So there
is because it's all guys going woo.
So there's no There's no critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic, but there is an audience approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's at 71%.
Okay.
Which is at certainly the highest, I think, or at the higher end of any of the ones we've done for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. In fairness, we tend to watch a lot of weirdly niche.
Yeah. And
and this really is.
Yeah, the other trend that I've noticed is that all of the films that we've reviewed are in and around 6.5 to 7 on IMDb, and this is no exception. It's sitting at 6.5, I think.
Well, they're films that I think are underrated.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a masterpiece if it's entertaining.
No, and this is a real fun film to me. There are very cheesy parts, and we will get to them, but they're very enjoyable.
Oh, this has everything. It's got love, it's got romance, it's got intrigue and backstabbing and explosions.
Yeah, I love it.
Crazy.
Oh,
does
crazy.
It have crazy?
It's got buckets.
But it ticks every box. There's this compelling love story going on. There's this gang warfare, intrigue. Everybody's trying to get a leg up on everybody else in the place.
Yeah, and as well, it has that element of films that I also enjoy, where if you want, you can sit around with a bunch of mates and just rip it to shreds.
Oh yeah, it's so easy to do.
And it's just it's parts of it are so 90s as well.
The suit, I'm sorry, his suit. There's something about those specific slacks where they're kind of almost like a throwback to a zoot suit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those ones with the oversized boxy jackets. That's just, it's so early 90s.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing that's missing is him wearing a silk turtleneck instead of a shirt with the suit jacket. That would have just been peak, especially with the round glasses that he's wearing.
I'm sure one of the mob guys he takes out at some point in the movie is
there's the blonde one with the mullet in the Italian restaurant. Yeah, he's got a turtleneck on and a pinky ring.
Right, but before you get into your costumes and your costuming, which you're prone to do.
Bad costuming annoys me.
It's something that we have talked about a fair bit on the boys stuff.
Mine. Yeah.
But there's plenty of foibles in this.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll go for a quick summary as usual before we get into the review proper. After seeing the face of an underworld assassin, Emu, a lonely artist with nothing... I know, you can't get past that. You're going to have to stifle the laugh until at least the end, okay? Because I say Emu twice.
It's just the way you said it was Emu.
Emu.
Stop!
That's how they say it.
It's like you're Emu.
Emu.
Okay.
After seeing the face of an underworld assassin, Emu, a lonely artist with nothing to live for, is drawn into a battle between the Yakuza and a secretive Chinese warrior cult. With the assassin closing in on her, and the Yakuza desperate to discover her identity, Can local police keep Emu safe from deadly gangs and the fearsome lone assassin, the Freeman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more or less it.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
She's stuck in the middle of this. She witnesses an assassination whilst on a painting holiday in San Francisco. Number one, you cannot tell me that she dragged that fucking easel out onto that cliff face by herself.
No, she didn't.
She's just very convenient location.
Yeah. And actually, no, before we get any further into this film has a shitload of Stargate actors in it.
Yeah, because it was a Canadian production.
Yeah, it was a Canadian production.
It's set in Vancouver.
Set and filmed mostly in Vancouver. And we knew there was one or two going into it. And as we watched it...
Well, obviously Mark Dacascos is in Stargate Atlantis.
That was the last one we actually got, though. We were going through and we were like, hey, and there was one or two actors the first time we watched it, and it was like, oh, he was in that episode of Stargate and one or two of Supernatural, and he was in that other episode of Stargate and some episodes of X-Files, and that was it. And then we were like, no, wait a second, when we were looking at it on IMDb and watching it the second time, it was like, oh, that guy who's a Yakuza guard at the end, he was in this episode of Stargate.
He's used First Prime.
So there's 6 altogether.
Yeah, you made a list.
You've got Carson from Stargate Atlantis, the Doctor from Stargate Atlantis.
Also, he's in The Torment of Tantalus as young Ernest.
Yes. Yeah, so Carson from Stargate Atlantis is in it. There's the 2 I just mentioned. One who was in one random episode in season 6.
Yeah.
And one who's in one random episode in season 2. You have the Yakuza at the end who plays a trust operative in season 7 or 8 of Stargate SG-1. Then you have the very first person to get shot in the assassination that Emu witnesses is used First Prime, who's in a few episodes of Stargate SG-1. And then we were like, oh shit, that's like 5 Stargate actors. And then you were like, not long before we sat down to record, you were looking through Mark Dacascos' IMDb listing and all the various things he's been in, and we had completely forgotten that he's in 2 episodes of Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah, and he's a as well in that, which is great fun. And if you haven't watched Stargate Atlantis, go watch Stargate Atlantis because you're missing out.
Yeah, but he plays like a comrade in arms of Jason Momoa's character from Stargate Atlantis.
Nutjob.
Yeah, he's an absolute nutjob in it. But yeah, so there's like 6 Stargate actors that we caught in this alone. That's all of them listed out now, and the reason I mentioned it was to say that we might go for a tangent at various points throughout. But now we've just gone for one big tangent at the start.
That works.
So, yeah, sorry. Emu has her easel that she magically got up on the rocks, and she witnesses an assassination of Yu's First Prime.
Yeah.
/ some
Yakuza's
guy.
son. He's the son of, what do they call them? The chairman of the societies?
Yeah, he's the chairman of the Hakushin Society.
Yeah.
Well, he's the son of the chairman of Hakushin Society that gets killed.
Very nice opening sequence.
Yeah, there's a really nice bit that I didn't cop the first watch, but I spotted on the second, and I think it's pretty much the first kill that Mark Dacascos' character, the Freeman, makes is one of the Yakuza fires a shot at him, and he uses like the muzzle flash
to aim, to
fire back straight away and nail the guy, and just the way it's shot is just it's just
it opens out with what you will come to expect from this film, which is really nice action sequences with a lot of flips and explosions.
Yeah,
this obviously doesn't have explosions because that would be. There is, because he blows up his guns. Yeah. Which is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's a thing throughout that after assassinations, he ejects the clip that he's used and puts in an explosive, a clip that is an explosive, throws the gun away and the gun explodes.
And like all cool guys, he does not look at the explosion, he just walks away.
No, there are many explosions that he doesn't look at any of them.
No, one of them he flips through in quite an insane manner.
Yes, he does.
But this was a live action adaptation of an anime which had been produced from a manga.
Yeah.
Originally.
All called Crying Freeman.
And the movie in particular is based off book 3 of the manga, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's like the second or third, if not volume, story arc.
Yeah, so I'd be quite if anyone has or knows of the anime, please let us know.
I saw the anime when I was like 14 or 15. I went through a stage of renting like all the anime films that were in my local video rental place. Including, very, very regretfully, that fucking, what's it called? Road to Kusoji or something like that. It's one of those horrible hentai ones. And I did not know what I was getting into. Me and a few friends, we were getting...
Did it not have a picture on the cover that would maybe tell you that this wasn't a good idea?
No, it just had...
was it just like black cover with what it said on it?
No, it has this big fucking demon thing on the cover. Cause it
so you were like, oh sweet, demon cock.
No! That was the whole point. You'd shut up and fucking listen to me. Was that we were just getting into things like manga and anime, and the local store had a whole section of them, and we just said, we'll work our way through it all.
And it was just mixed in.
And it was just mixed in. And a lot of the animes are 15s and 18s because they're so violent. So we didn't think anything of this, the fact this had an 18s rating. As I say, we were 14 or 15, so your man at the counter was letting us rent the 18s anyway, because he knew we were just getting into it. And maybe he didn't know either. But this one, as I say, it's just on the cover, it's...
Oh, he knew.
It's like, well, he probably did. Or maybe he didn't care, but it's like, there's a big long Japanese title, and then the subtitle is like Legend of the Demon Overfiend. So I was like, nothing about that sounds like fucking hentai tentacle porn. But like, half of the film, there is a big demon plot throughout it, but half of the film is just fucking like cartoons fucking, and we had no idea what we were getting into. But I saw the Crying Freeman animes in that section. I rented them and I watched them, but I had already seen this movie prior because I rented it in the same video store.
Yeah.
And absolutely loved it. And I think that was maybe what started me on the whole manga anime buzz. But yeah, no, I did not actively go seeking fucking tentacle porn. Thank you very much. Oh, those are two early tangents. Back to the movie.
Yes.
Back to the movie at hand.
So she sees his face. He's supposed to, by whatever code, have killed her. For whatever reason, he lets her go.
Yeah,
They have like a little moment.
Yeah, the whole thing is very weird because he kills two guys in front of her, and she looks at him a bit scared, and he
blows up a gun. She nearly falls off the cliff.
Yeah,
he saves her ass.
Well, not even because he slowly walks over to her, and she
loses
he's
her not in a hurry.
She loses her footing a little bit, and if you look away from the screen for a second, like I did, it just looks like he's holding his hand out to her for no reason.
Yeah,
and he like helps her up a little bit, and then introduces himself and darts off.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of an explanation for why he introduces himself later on in the film. But why she doesn't make any attempt to run away, oh no, that is explained later on as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a really bizarre interaction for your first introduction to these two characters. So Emu is played by, that is her name. I promise we're not pronouncing it weird or anything like that.
Well, you just pronounced it like the animal. It's Emu.
Emu
Ohara.
But it's spelt Emu.
Yeah, it's spelled EMU.
Whatever horribly cruel, sadistic people decided to name their child that. I was going to say something really offensive about them, but they're, well, not offensive.
Well, they're dead.
They're dead.
They're dead now. Oh, we should probably mention that if you don't like narration in your films.
Oh, don't watch this. It's most of her, she actually says very little on screen. It is mostly voiceover narration for her.
Yeah, she doesn't have a huge amount of lines.
And everything is said in very breathy whispers.
But yeah, there's a lot of heavy narration.
It was a French director.
Yeah,
which does not excuse the sex scenes because they're awful.
Yeah, for a French director, they are some
awkward
sex scenes.
They're uncomfortable to watch.
And again, we'll get onto those later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Emu Ohara is played by Julie Condra, and yeah, her character is supposed to be the main focus of the film, but it's not for me.
No.
But yeah, she narrates an awful lot, and you find out pretty much at the start.
Her parents are both dead. She's inherited this massive house. She's she would be extremely affluent.
Yeah.
She's also horribly depressed and kind of
goes on about how she's been alone for 20 years. And
yeah, since Daddy died. She does come across very much as a poor little rich girl.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's definitely how she comes across. Like, oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
My life is terrible in my giant mansion.
Where I can just paint all I like.
Yeah, and the assassin who's coming to kill me is going to break his lifelong code to sleep with me instead.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Yeah, there's very little kind of character development going on either. You're introduced to these people. For her, she's just
for
there.
her, definitely not. There is some for
you
for Yo, our main character, Crying Freeman.
But she's just there. She may as well be a cardboard cutout for the amount of use she is in this film.
Yeah, I mean,
not to shit on Julie Condra because she obviously she was playing a role to which she was directed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to actively shit on people and I will say sometimes, you know, oh yeah, it could be the script or whatever, and definitely with this, some of it was the script.
Yeah,
but some of it's definitely her acting.
I think, yeah.
Some of it is definitely her acting.
There's some facial expressions later on in that film that I think are actually cut in the wrong sequences. Because they're really bizarre.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I've seen her in other things, and I know she's very well respected. So I'm just hoping that it was like just bad direction or bad editing going on, or so there was some form of miscommunication going on there.
Yeah, well, the dialogue is definitely not the strongest part of this film by any means. Anyway,
no. But she is very much just kind of, they needed a female person to motivate him, to give him some sort of drive.
Yeah, she's the love interest. But to be honest with you, and you'll be able to kind of confirm this or not for me, but none of the female characters in this film are written particularly well. No, well, Detective Forge could have been cast as either. Forge definitely could have. Lady Nita, not so much. And Lady Nita's fun, but that's just because she's fucking crazy. Lady Hanada. Oh my god, yeah, Lady Hanada. Yeah. Lady Hanada is probably the best female character in this. Yeah. There's not a lot going on with the others, to be perfectly honest. Even she's just nuts. Yeah. But it's that's why she's fun. Yeah. But because it's dealing a lot with Yakuza, and the same when you look at any sort of mafia film, they're male dominated. The women, if they are there at all, are generally in a submissive role. And I think that's one of the most fun things about her, is something that we can't get into because it's spoilery. Yeah. But when it's revealed towards the very end, it does make her quite fun. But I suppose we should probably start talking about the rest of the characters before just jumping wildly around. So we have Emu, who we've covered fairly well at this point. She's there. She's decorative. And then you have Mark Dacascos as the Freeman, or Yo. Yeah. Who is this lone assassin. We find out early on in the film, basically, that he's kind of this almost semi-mythical. Yeah, there's always a Freeman, and it's a mantle that's assumed he can have any face, look like anybody. Yeah, but there is always a Freeman, and he always works for the Order of the Sons of the Dragon, who are a ancient Chinese warrior cult who are supposed to like protect the freedoms of the Chinese people. Yeah, but basically seem to be run as like a triad. Yeah. There seems to be a supernatural element to it as well. But it is because the Freeman has this mythological status and this fear. It is just a role that's assumed he is the current one. Yeah. And you get his handler as well, which is Ko, played by the excellent Byron Mann, who has not aged a day. Yeah, and it had been quite a long time since we watched this, and I had forgotten, not that I had forgotten Byron Mann was in this, but I had forgotten that I knew Byron Mann from a whole lot of other things since we last watched this, because he's in The Expanse, is probably the most recent thing we watched, as Admiral Nguyen, and he's in tons of stuff. Yeah. But in this, he plays Ko. And honestly, he has not aged. It's he really hasn't. Weird. But he's in Wheel Assassins as well, isn't he? He is. With Mark Dacascos, who plays the bald monk in that. Yeah, the two of them have a ton of credits. Yeah. And they've worked together a couple of times. He works... So he's the handler, he's the main contact. He's very fun. He's more of like a confidant type character as well for you. As the film wears on, the development of the relationship between them is probably the most nuanced thing in the film, I think. Their initial conversation in the car when you arrives into Vancouver. Oh, after he comes back from the assassination. Is so good. Yeah, I had, when we were watching it, I had a little bit of a plot hole thing, but I managed to like work it out in my own head canon, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's not really a plot hole. Yeah. Because that's a fun scene. As your introduction to Ko, it is, he does come across as just the straight-laced handler for the assassin, who takes no shit. And the poor lackey who's driving the car, who like really needed a fresh pair of underwear. Oh yeah, he did. The end of that car journey. Oh yeah, he did. He needed about 4 days off and a bottle of liquor. That was stressful. Yeah, then as the movie wears on, you see a bit more of a different side to Ko, where he is a friend and a confidant to Yo as much as he is boss and handler, and you know. He's also plays quite a pivotal role behind the scenes because he provides distraction
for the assassination. He provides, he does, obviously like any good handler, he does all the setup and stuff, but he also likes to do some of the wet work himself. So you get him with the scene outside the town hall where he's on the roof with the sniper rifle.
Yeah, and he just fires off 2 shots to blow up 2 cars and then just packs up and walks away.
Yeah, and then later on in it, then you get him actually in disguise infiltrating.
Yeah, they go out on missions together. But what I really like about that first one...
And he's more effective.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit later. But I like, in that scene, that the kind of, it's the first big action scene where there is an attack outside a town hall. And he fires these 2 shots. City Hall, yeah. Fires these 2 shots from the sniper rifle, blows up 2 cars, and then just walks off and leaves Yo to do his job.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things I like about it. The fact that he doesn't even wait to see, because he just knows, yeah, Yo's going to get the job done.
Well, he's going to go off and get the car and get around to the meeting point.
True,
too.
But there is just this element of pure clockwork and precision, and like there's no element not taken care of. But also, it's just after we've had a kind of an exposition as to what the Freeman is.
Yeah.
And how he is this lone killer who's got like supernatural powers and practically unkillable and nobody can stop him.
He comes and goes like a ghost.
Yeah, and then from the perspective of the people who are being attacked, they don't know Cole's been up on the roof and that he's been taking shots. They just see this one guy come through and start firing bullets and shit starts exploding.
Yeah, the 2 cars are fireballing and he just comes through the centre and he's in a 3-piece suit looking sharp as shit.
Yeah.
Like, just, And he's got that weird fucked up, like, stitched face mask.
Yeah.
Which just adds this extra level of, like, ugh, to it.
Yeah, there's this creepy mask.
And then he just starts, like, flipping around the place.
Yeah, it just, I just like that aspect of Ko working behind the scenes to help create and maintain this image of what the Freeman is.
No, but it's a nice change from a lot of assassin films where the handler is just like the man in the shadows.
Yeah.
This, you get to see them actually get in and get stuck in and not be afraid to go the extra mile for what they think is right or to stand by their friend over their job.
Yeah, and to have the loyalties tested, and I do think it's probably the most fleshed out relationship in the film.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I'd say the most fleshed out character is probably Detective Nida.
Yes.
Who is a French actor whose name I'm probably about to butcher. I think it's Checky Cario. I don't know. But he
incredibly strong French accent. Unfortunately, he was dubbed over.
Yeah.
But his performance is amazing and they actually match the lip sync phenomenally well. You wouldn't realise.
No, I've watched this film I don't know how many times, and it wasn't until I went reading the IMDb trivia on this that I discovered that it was Ron Perlman who voices him.
And it's not very Ron Perlman-y.
I always just thought the guy sounded a lot like Ron Perlman, and as I was watching it this time, I was actively looking.
But the voice suits the actor though as well.
It does,
he's a tall, very well built man. He's got a Charles de Gaulle nose and quite a strong jaw, and the voice matches.
He kind of looks like a French Ron Perlman.
Yeah, he is basically a French Ron Perlman. He's a quite a large, imposing individual. It works as a detective, like because he has that bulk there, the intimidation technique. He's supposed to be with Interpol. He's with
Interpol.
Hong Kong liaison.
He's come over from Tokyo because
Tokyo.
When the Freeman assassinated the son of the Yakuza boss in San Francisco.
The Yakuza boss lost his fucking shit.
Yeah, the Yakuza boss lost his shit and knew that the Freeman was going to be in Vancouver to assassinate the only witness, who was Emu.
Yeah.
And has basically said to the local police force, get us this Freeman in the next 48 hours, or the Yakuza are going to start tearing shit apart. So Nida's kind of the liaison almost between the Yakuza and the local police force. Yeah. And you find out, semi-spoiler, I suppose. Yeah. But you find out early on that he's in the Yakuza's pocket.
Yeah. He is trying to do his job by stopping them burning Vancouver to the ground.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes where...
But it also is to his benefit to go along with their plan.
Yeah.
Like he straight away gets Detective Forge to go and get Emu Ohara and bring her back. So then he can hand deliver her. Or use her to bait a trap for the Freeman.
Yeah, and there is times when he talks about kind of wanting to do actual police work, as it were.
Yeah.
And you get the impression that, he's in the Yakuza's pocket, but he kind of, maybe he justifies it as, oh, well, maybe I can do more to kind of temper them if I'm...
Yeah.
And
stop collateral damage.
Yeah, he is portrayed as a crooked cop, but he's not entirely unsympathetic, I suppose is what I'm trying to say.
He does have a certain, like, I will say, like, for the Yakuza, they do have more of a moral. It is an honor system. Yeah,
because there's the really nice bit when the person he's partnered with is Detective Forge. You mentioned earlier. She's one of the other female characters.
She's actually quite a fun, strong female officer for 1995.
Yeah,
it was nice to see, and she's is she black as well?
I think she's of like mixed racial descent.
So it was nice to see that portrayal as well.
Ray Dawn Chong is the actress's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so to see a non-white female detective
in a position who's been given lead on this case alongside the Interpol for 1995 was really, really refreshing.
Yeah, but there's in the scene where we find out that Nita is working for the Yakuza, he thinks that they've killed Forge.
Yeah.
He sits down into his car and Forge is slumped over. And
she's leaning back and he shakes her thinking she's asleep and she just slumps forward.
Oh, yeah.
And you do think the way she does it, you're like, oh no, she's dead.
She's dead. Yeah.
Because a gun presses against the back of his head from the back seat.
Yeah, and he says that, he's like, oh, I hope you didn't kill my partner. I'd hate to have to arrest you. And the Yakuza guy in the back says, we don't kill cops unless we own them.
Yeah.
That's just a nice little line.
Yeah.
And then, you see that Forge has actually just been drugged. But Nita is one of he's one of the more fun characters in the film.
He has his moments throughout this.
Yeah. And as we mentioned, Forge she's not in it a huge amount.
No.
But as you rightly pointed out, for 1995, it's nice to see...
some representation.
Yeah.
Which is still more than you might get in movies today as well.
Yeah, certainly in some movies. She's got quite a presence early on, actually, because she's quite important to do with...
Getting Emu on side.
Yeah, and kind of the Emu plot stuff early on is all based around Nita and Forge interactions. And then the latter half is all based around Yo and Yo. Yeah. And then other than that, the only kind of characters in it are various Yakuza players.
Yeah, so you've got Lord and Lady Hanada, who are quite high up in the syndicate.
Yeah.
They've got their own shit going on. They're part of all the intrigue and backstabbing.
Yeah, you've got the Shimazakis then, the son who's assassinated at the start.
And the father who's threatening to burn down Vancouver.
Yeah.
Who, Shimazaki is played by Mako, who has been in everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no.
He's a living legend. I think he may have passed away. I'm hoping he hasn't. He is a legend.
Yeah, there's a lot of the Yakuza actors are... not old school, but really well known Japanese actors from Japan, because this was it was a Japanese, German and Canadian production as far as I know.
Yeah.
It was like Japanese, French and Canadian production. Obviously, French director.
Yeah. Christophe Gaines, he did Brotherhood of the Wolf as well.
Yeah, and Brotherhood of the Wolf is one that we will also probably cover at some point in the future.
But because of that, yes, it does bring in, there's a lot of Japanese, actual Japanese actors in it.
Yeah.
Which is where we got the likes of the guys who end up in Stargate and things like that. Who were brought over to film in Vancouver. Yeah.
Lord and Lady Hanada are probably the two ones who get the most attention.
Yes.
And Lady Hanada, as we said, is great fun.
Oh, she's so crazy.
Even from her introduction when she's out wandering in the park and comes...
Oh, and yeah, you totally think she's like a real high-end prostitute. She's smoking in the... She has one of those like big long cigarette holders I want one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Bitch is wearing sunglasses at night and a white trench coat. And she's got a fucking black silk headscarf on as well, and a white fucking trench coat and sunglasses, because she's trying to blend in, even though the white trench coat is like a shiny vinyl.
But when Nita comes up...
She's just behind a tree!
But when Nita comes up to her and he's like, kind of gives her the you shouldn't be out late at night, it's dangerous around here, especially tonight. I can't remember what she says. But then he says, oh, well, there's two types of people who are out this late at night. And she turns around to him and says, I didn't take you for that kind, detective.
Yeah.
And, she's great fun.
She is absolutely batshit crazy.
Kissing her husband while she pulls the knife out of his back.
Oh, Yeah, no. She's she's a bunny boiler in disguise. Like, she's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, and
She's an incredibly dangerous woman.
Yeah.
She's probably the most dangerous person in the entire film because she's completely nuts.
Yeah. But that's kind of her, and then her husband they compromise the main list of characters really for the film.
I couldn't really give a shit about the husband. I'd have been happy if he had been in it at all, just to get more of Lady Hanada.
I liked him because he's
they're obviously in on whatever the plot is together.
Oh yeah, but I like how he was just kind of the Terminator of the film. You think he's dead about 4 times throughout it. Like, there once it's because of a bulletproof vest, and then even towards the end of the film, he's got
stabbed in the spine, and he's fine. He just puts a band-aid over it, and it's really funny because he's got the massive dragon head tattoo on his back.
Yeah,
and whoever stabbed him right between the dragon eyes. So when he's got
he's got the big Oni tattoo on his back, isn't it?
Oh, she's got the dragon. He has the Oni. But yeah, it stabbed the Oni kind of just in the forehead.
Yeah.
So when he's got the bandage on it, it looks like the
Oni has it. Yeah.
It's hilarious, and he's walking through, and he's supposed to be all like macho man with this Oni with an owie.
I'd love to actually. Maybe it's something from the manga, or maybe it's something from the anime.
The tattoos do have a special significance for Yakuza.
Well, no, but because there are a couple of things throughout it where, like that, he just seems to be unkillable. There's a line where somebody literally says of him, "The man is a devil." There's that bit that you disagreed with me, but I thought there's a bit where he gets his face burnt later on, and I thought the scorch marks on his face did look like an Oni mask.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, were they actually going for an idea of there was this, that he was some sort of like unkillable
There is a
devil.
Supernatural thread that runs underneath this whole thing.
Yeah, there are.
So maybe they just didn't want to bring in too many elements for a movie, especially when manga can. If that is the case, go overboard.
They really tread that line beautifully in this film, because that's one of the things that I really love about it is with Yo and with the Freeman. There are a few times where you're not sure if there is actually supposed to be an element of the supernatural, and does he have special powers, or is he just that well trained?
Yeah. Or did they just drug him?
And then
horribly, and then do horrible things to him. Well, they definitely did horrible things to him because he is not the Freeman by choice.
No,
it's revealed during it, and you get the backstory of how that happened, which is with the dragon lady.
Yeah, the backstory is it's a bit exposition dumpy, but it's fun because it's nicely paced out. It's not just one big long, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah,
it kind of cuts back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are parts of it that I really like as well in that, because it's a good 10 or 15 minute long flashback, and you get some really nice assassination sequences.
Yeah. Well, Yu's whole cover is that he is a potter. It actually turns out that it's not a manufactured cover. He actually is a potter. Yo.
You keep calling him you.
Sorry. He is actually a potter. There's the initial introduction of him coming into Vancouver with the case full of clay.
He's the smoothest motherfucker in all of Vancouver.
There was not a dry panty in the house that day.
He is just so smooth.
Oh, yeah, no, the charm goes up to 11.
But really at the end of it, when he gives his little spiel all about the clay and how good it is.
And then he pulls down the sunglasses.
Takes the glasses off. His last line about the clay is that I've heard of some potters storing their clay for up to 20 years. Miss, will I be breaking that record at this counter? She just you could practically hear the sploosh. And he I practically splooshed. Yeah, he was one smooth motherfucker.
Yeah, it was smooth. Like ice. Cold to the touch.
And it's not very nice.
But
a Dark Place reference for maybe one person out there.
Yeah, somebody out there is cheering. But he actually is a potter, and there is a sequence where he had been having you basically get where am I going? What am I doing?
I don't know.
So he's a potter.
Yep.
And he does end up retreating back to Japan to his studio. And I really thought they were going to have a ghost moment at one point.
Yeah, there's a very, very close to a ghost moment.
Yeah.
But they thankfully didn't go there.
But it's nice that they've worked in this element of it, and because you're kind of you just assume that he joined the Yakuza and had earned this position.
Yeah.
But you find out that he's actually was kidnapped and forced into it.
Yeah.
Basically,
that's kind of a spoiler.
Oh,
We're supposed to do non-spoilers.
okay, we can cut that bit out.
But no, that's not. It's not the worst spoiler.
Randomly.
No. It's
saying anymore.
It's fine. But no, it does have this element of the hints of supernatural, because even when the almost ghost pottery moment.
Oh, when
happens,
he has the.
Yeah, because he's making pottery and he stops and looks up, and you're expecting to see Emu there because she's on her way to him.
No, she's only walking up the
But
way.
he stops and looks up and smiles, and then it cuts to a scene a few minutes later and he's standing outside the house, and then she walks up towards him. So he does seem to have these extra senses. And then tied in with that with Ryuji Hanada, you do have this element of he seems like he's just unstoppable or unkillable. But that's one of the little bits of kind of world building that I like about it, is you have this very vague sense of supernatural, and also the uncertainty of whether or not the whole Sons of the Dragon exist, or are they just a boogeyman for the
they
Yakuza?
Definitely exist, but it's whether or not
they exist in that way.
Yeah, whether or not if it's all smoke and mirrors and history and myth and stories whispered.
Yeah,
they're the boogie. It's the boogeyman of the underworld. It's the one that everybody fears.
He was John Wick before John Wick.
Yeah, basically, and he's Zero in John Wick.
How did we not come? We're sitting here trying to explain what sort of badass, cool assassin he is, and we could have just said he was John Wick before John Wick.
I know.
But speaking of, I like how in a lot of the approaches to, say, like the big fight scenes or to the assassinations, Yo is always very silent on his approach, and there's not much in the way of like a score until he actually starts the attack. And I like the use of silence in this film. Yeah,
well, he's supposed to be super, super stealthy, and it does. There's a lot of Asian fight sequence sensibility. If you watch something like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, when they're running through the forest and they're running without making any sound, and it's that whole harken back to ninjas, running across rooftops, and a lot of the mythology. It's the same thing that exists in Irish mythology when you have the likes of Cuchulainn being trained. And one of the trials of the Fenia is to run through a forest without breaking a branch. So this whole idea of moving with stealth through nature is kind of a global thing, but it's nice to see it represented by not using a score.
Yeah,
using ambient sound.
Yeah, they do it really well, and particularly in the fights towards the end.
Yeah, and there's not even a lot of unnecessary soundtrack.
Yeah, especially for a 90s film.
Oh god, yeah, I could have gone everywhere.
Especially for a 90s film.
There's no smooth jazz.
Mid-90s. No, there's no crazy jazz, there's no crazy EDM, there's no Mortal Kombat.
Sorry.
Yeah,
there is a couple of ballet jumps.
Yeah, some of the
some of Yo's leaving of places or transitioning from room to room involve some very, very
ballet-like jumps.
Yeah. Arabesques are not necessary.
But some of his assassinations are almost performed in...
It's a dance.
As if they are like a ballet.
I think my favourite one is the pizza parlour. Rossi, the Italian guy.
Yeah, no, that's what this is minor spoiler, but we're going to go into detail about this assassination.
It's the guy with the finger bone of and 3/8 of a virgin.
Yeah, he's in Supernatural, he's in Stargate.
He's in loads.
But in this, he's playing an unconvincing mob boss.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, he's a sweet old man. Every other thing I've seen him in, he's generally a sweet doddering old man.
Yeah.
And I can't correlate that
with mob boss
who's going to slap the fake titties off his wife.
Yeah, he doesn't particularly sell it, but the assassination scene itself,
it's so good.
It's just beautiful violence.
It's choreographed so fluidly, and
the music in that as well is particularly beautiful.
It's been done to this music with this operatic music which swells with it. I'm always a big fan of burn sequences. I have a big admiration for stunt performers who perform burn scenes.
Yeah.
This one's a doozy.
Yeah, it's because after assassinating the mob boss with a knife hidden in a bouquet of flowers,
so good.
he turns around and the two like henchmen of the mob boss approach him, and he picks up a bottle of brandy or something.
And it's good brandy
and
too.
Fucks it in an open
Pizza
oven, and a giant flame comes out and sets these two guys on fire, and you get a lovely slow-mo scene of him taking the two guys out. And as you said, there's two guys in burn suits.
It's a long sequence for them because it's a wide angle shot of the Freeman moving through and fighting with both of them.
I'd say it was a good 10 or 15 second burn. Like
it's a long burn sequence, and I have huge admiration for them because it must not have been easy to do or to choreograph, but it's so pretty. Oh, it is, yeah. No, and there's a couple of the fight scenes in this which are just beautiful, but that one I always remember that, and I think as much as like there's some hilarious bits in this film and there's some bad writing or there's some shitty characters, that is one of the best assassinations I have ever seen on film. It's just gorgeous. It's one of the only ones that doesn't involve any guns. It's one knife.
Yeah, well, he picks up he does pick up like a bread knife or a butcher knife, but he
can't bring anything else in with him because he gets patted down. So he goes in just with this knife that he can't pull back out because it has to be left there because it's to send a message. Yeah, because it's this insanely ornate like gold knife with like a blue handle, and it's No, that's not a plot. Never mind. I was going to say that would be a plot hole because he leaves the wife alive or the mistress alive. I don't know. He might not. Well, if she's anything like Emu, she just sits there.
But he leaves her alive, whereas he's not supposed to leave any witnesses alive when he's the dragon. But at that point, that's in the flashback. He's not actually fully been made the dragon yet. Yeah. So yeah, never mind. Not technically a plot hole.
No. Well, I'm surprised anybody was left alive in that place after he's done with it.
yeah, this is true. But yeah, no, that's one of the most beautiful bits of the film. I think one of my favourite bits of the film. Yeah. And I
like the Tokyo house sequence.
The funeral scene towards the end. Yeah, it's because there's kind of three big action sequences.
You've got City Hall initial.
Yeah, City Hall.
You've got that assassination.
And then your funeral scene is another big fight scene, and then your final fight scene.
There's other ones then scattered throughout. You have
the house fight scene.
The house fight scene, which Mark Dacascos has great faith in everybody who works in because he is literally in a jockstrap for that entire sequence.
Yeah.
And and he's flipping about the place and getting shot at.
Can we talk about the way he ends up in the jockstrap?
Man has Velcro seams in his clothes.
Because
I counted it. It's like 3 seconds. He's got them strippers.
It's a bit longer than that. Suit. But yeah, there's a bit where Yo comes to assassinate Emu.
It's that bit in Bruce Almighty where he just goes, "Wah!" and all the clothes fall off him.
Basically, yeah. Because there's a cut of him and you see him unbuttoning one of his suit jacket buttons.
He's wearing a 3-piece suit.
Yeah, he's wearing a 3-piece suit. And then it cuts back to Emu in the bed, staring at him for a 10-second shot. And then it cuts back to him and he's fully naked inside of 10 seconds.
He should at least have, like, the pants should be unbuckled, the shirt should be gone.
He should still be hopping around on one leg trying to get his
trying to get the shoe off. Be like, fuck it, you'll do, come here.
Yeah.
Number one, he gets dressed completely silently. There was not even the clothing rustle.
No, nothing.
There was no shoes hitting the ground. That's a big ass belt buckle he's wearing.
Yeah, it is. It's just boom, naked.
Like he's got them fucking Velcro stripper pants.
Which leads us on to your confused faces.
Oh, issue. I don't know what was going on there, but that is not the face of a woman getting pleasure. That is the face of a woman who is mid-peril.
Within about a 5 to 10 minute sequence, Emu is having sex with Yo, and then Emu has a gun to her head later on. And when she's having sex,
the wrong faces in the wrong bit.
When she's having sex, she looks scared / like
crying.
Yeah, and then when she's got the gun to her head, she looks like she's mid-orgasm.
Yeah,
it's just.
It's not right.
It ain't right.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll never watch that scene again the right way. Like, it's just, mind you, it's hard to fucking miss it because it focuses right in on her face.
Yeah.
But it just, no. I don't know what or who was saying it or who was encouraging her, but that is not the face you make. And if that is a face you have seen, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, and to make sense of my reference at the start to you not getting out of harm's way.
Bitch just sits there.
Yeah, her whole
Not
house
in a sexy way. Sorry,
No,
just to clarify that.
Yeah, her whole house is getting shot up and Ko is trying to defend her. And she sits in the same position on the bed the whole way through the gunfight until she gets shot in the stomach and then falls off the bed.
She doesn't even fall off the bed. She just slumps over so she can get shot again in the back.
And then later on in the film, there's a sword fight and she just stands there and refuses to get out of the way while there's swords flying around the place. And as we said, that explains at the start why she just stood there and watched him assassinate those two guys.
Yeah, she has real deer in the headlights. No, she's incredibly, like, she does come across, like, in the voiceover and all that, like, she knows that he's coming to kill her, and she kind of wants to die. She wants to die, and she wants it to be over, and for everything to be gone, and then she has sex with him.
And falls in love, and in
the space of, like, obviously whatever he was doing was right.
Yeah, the love story is a bit pants.
You get then Ryuji then arriving to the house
and shooting shit up.
Yeah, Spider Yo.
Oh, Spider Yo.
Up on the door frame,
and then doing his backflips in the jockstrap.
Yeah, that whole sequence kind of reignited the fear I had from that Buffy episode where the thing's on the ceiling and drops on people.
You'd be okay if Mark Dacascos dropped on you from the ceiling, though.
I'm not okay if anything dropped on me from the ceiling, to be perfectly honest.
Not even mid-1990s Mark Dacascos in a jockstrap?
He'd probably fucking knock me out. I'd probably freak out, first of all, if anything dropped on me from the ceiling, because now in my head I would just go to X-Files and it's fucking, what's his name?
Speaking of Ryuji, there's two times in this film where Detective Nita calls him Blade.
I don't know.
He calls him Blade when he's wearing this massive big leather jacket, and he calls him Blade.
That
and then
could
later
be
on
a reference.
Later on in the film, he calls him Chairman Blade, which is obviously a callback to him calling him Blade in the first time.
I think it could be from the manga.
I think, I'm pretty sure.
They put it in there as a little, like, nod to that, because I don't think it would have been influenced by Marvel's Blade.
I don't know.
I really don't think it would have been. I think it's probably something to do with the manga and maybe something to do with he favours swords or something.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's Ron Perlman, who is a big fan of the Blade comics.
Yeah, but I think he was just sent a script.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's a weird one, and that's why I bring it up, because I can't decide if it's supposed to be a reference to the Blade comics and the Blade character, or if it's just a Blade because he's Yakuza and carries a sword, you know?
Yeah, this is the first time we get to see, I've actually forgotten his name again, Ryuji?
Hanada.
Yeah, where the first time you think he's dead, when he gets stabbed, when Ko comes to the rescue and throws a knife in his back, and then as he spins around to confront Ko tosses the gun to Yo.
Oh, yeah.
And he spins
back around. Yeah.
It's such a lovely little...
Oh, yeah.
It is
slick.
So nice because he's going, no, what?
Oh, no.
And you can see it on his face as he's turning around, and he's got this knife sticking out his back, and he's shirtless again.
Yeah. And he's not the only character who has a couple of death fake outs. Well, he has a death fake out. But there's another character, I won't say which because we've done enough spoilers in this one, but there's a character who has a death fake out early on in the film where you think they're dead and then they're not. And then they kill the character off literally 10 minutes later.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a bizarre choice to give us a death fake out to then actually kill them a few minutes later. Like, oh, they're not really dead. Just kidding. They're dead. One of the other things that I don't like, there's 2 points in this film where they give us a flashback to something that happened like 5 minutes ago on screen.
It does have a bit of that, and you kind of feel like they were trying to just make up running time.
Yeah, one of them, you made the point of Ko hands Yo a newspaper, but it's in Japanese, describing something that has happened in the film. So if you don't read Japanese, you have no idea what the newspaper says.
That works.
That kind of makes sense. But earlier on, when Shimazaki is talking about his son being assassinated, there's a flashback to his son being assassinated, which was literally 10 minutes beforehand at the start of the film. And if you can't remember that...
But there's 2 people shot in that sequence, so it's like, it does focus in on the main one, the one who was saying, oh, whatever they're paying you, I'll match it.
Well, to be honest with you, he was the best dressed of them. He was the last killed, and he was the only one who had any lines of dialogue, so I assumed it was him they were talking about.
Yeah, I think it was just to be like, oh yeah, this guy that was shot at the start start of the film, it's this. But it is a little bit annoying. They could have either put a longer bit at the start.
Yeah.
I think the newspaper one, about the shooting in the soybean factory, I think is the only one that kind of is relevant.
Yeah, also I learned what the inside of a soybean factory looks like because of this film.
Yeah, no,
Dingy and covered in about 2 foot of water.
Yeah.
There's
and dead people.
Well, this particular one, covered in dead people. And there's some really bizarre and hilarious things in this film as well. There's a few things like what I refer to as idiots and arrows, where there's some guys getting shot with arrows, and each person, one person gets shot with an arrow, and the next guy who's about to get shot looks at the first guy who got shot with an arrow, and then he gets shot with an arrow. And then a third guy looks at both of them getting shot with an arrow, and then he gets shot with an arrow. And it's just...
It's a comedy sketch.
It nearly is.
And it's not like the guy who's shooting the arrows is hidden, and they're all looking around and can't see anything. He's standing at the top of a fucking stone staircase in broad daylight.
Or the other Ryuji death...
Behind them!
The other Ryuji death fake out where you think he's gotten his face burnt off. And,
no, and then he just...
And he comes back with this weird werewolf sound, and is all like, "Rawr!" It's clearly a werewolf sound.
Yeah, because they're all going, "Oh, phew, Lola's gone." Wrong. Lola's back, you fucking Brussels sprout.
And
you've got the Nita's giant PETA, which we'll just leave it at that. And if you watch the film, you'll see what we mean.
Yeah, Nita has a sex scene, and
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
as well.
Nita must have like a 2 foot long penis.
Because the logistics of that scene don't work. Also,
we'll say no more.
Yeah,
we'll say no more.
But it's hilarious. It's one of those things that once you notice it,
you can't not notice it.
I could not tell you what the dialogue is in that scene. Anything. I'm just trying to work out. It's hilariously bad.
It's not quite a spoiler because the main character of the film is probably not going to die. So at the end of the film, when our hero has triumphed,
yes.
And the whole way
Victory!
through the film, he is a killer, but every time he kills somebody, we see him cry. And
it's his curse. Every Freeman has a curse. That's why he's the crying.
We don't even have to go into it.
Well, that's why he's the crying Freeman.
Yeah, but we don't even have to go into it for the point. Yeah. He's characterized as this, he's a sensitive soul of a killer, and he's a potter, and he's this
he's soft-spoken,
real nice guy,
and he can just make underwear vanish.
And he hides out in this what looks like an ancient shrine in the forest.
Yes.
And at the end, he wants no trace of him left behind, so he blows up his shrine. But he blows up the house in the middle of the shrine, and you think, okay, that's alright. But then everything else, all the lovely old Buddhist statues, or maybe they're Shinto statues, I'm not sure. But all the lovely old religious statues, and all the everything in this forest just gets blown the fuck up. Yeah. And it's like, this thing looks like it's about 500 or 600 years old. Come on, that's not cool, buddy.
It up.
That's not cool. And
they blew it up!
The other thing that I found really bizarre about the ending was that, actually it was one of the things in the few reviews I could find, was the music in this film was one of the things that was always praised.
Yeah.
And the end piece of music, as everything is blowing up, is a really great piece of music, and it's got this great kind of slow build and this excellent swell at the end of it, and it should be in a better film than this. And I love this film, but it doesn't fit because it's immediately followed by our main character and the heroine jetting off in a fucking speedboat into the sunset, and it was out of place.
Yeah.
It was out of place.
Also on a side note, Julie Condra and Mark Dacascos met on this movie and subsequently got married and are still married to this day, which is very sweet, and yay.
Yeah, and this was where my more or less lifelong fanhood of Mark Dacascos started.
Love me some Mark Dacascos.
This was the first thing I saw him in, and he is absolutely fantastic in this.
I'd seen Brotherhood of the Wolf first, and I think I had this thing where I watched it late night on Channel 4, way back when, and had forgotten about it, thought it was a fever dream, as I tend to do with things that other people don't remember. I think I've just made up. You showed me Crying Freeman, and I think from there found out that it was him in Brotherhood of the Wolf, and that it was actually a real movie and not a product of my overactive imagination.
Oh, and if you're not overly familiar with who Mark Dacascos is, by the way, he is the host of Iron Chef.
Well, he's not the host. He's the baldy guy who shapes the ingredients.
Sorry, was that the kind of host?
I don't know.
I don't watch Iron Chef. I just.
But all I know is he's the bald guy who yells pork.
Yeah,
because that was one of the first things I saw of it.
Yeah, no, the cast in this is great.
Yeah, I will say they're all just shy of chewing the scenery, but it works.
Oh yeah, it's totally 90s. It's really cheesy in parts, but the action is phenomenal.
Yes.
It is a really fun film. As I say, the romance isn't great. Some of the characters aren't great, but
it's a good addition to, say, like, if you, like we used to do the bad kung fu movie marathons.
Yeah.
Like with all the B movie ones.
I wouldn't even call this...
No.
I wouldn't call it bad.
But this is a good addition to any sort of, like, if you like your martial arts films, this is fun. If you like your kind of gangster films, this will work for you too. Yeah, there's plenty of guns, there's plenty of, like, slick martial arts fist fights, there's sword fights, there's explosions, there's sex, there's romance. There's not.
There's bad romance. there's bad sex.
Yeah. If you're a fan of the sex scenes in 50 Shades of Grey, this is improvement.
But no, it is. It's a fun film.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be reviewing it if we didn't love it.
Nah.
And I do love this film.
Yeah. I'd actually, when we were discussing
about what we wanted to review this week.
In front of the DVD wall.
Yeah.
And I'd actually completely forgotten about the existence of this film.
So, well, not that I had forgotten about it, but we were looking for... What were we looking for?
I can't remember, but we couldn't find it.
Yeah, we were looking for something. We were like, we'll do that.
No.
Oh, we were looking for what we're going to do next week.
We watched Screamers.
Oh.
And had I don't know what it was. Just we weren't feeling Screamers, and we're like, we're going to do another film.
Yeah, and we were looking for something else, and I was like, oh shit, Crying Freeman. I haven't watched that in ages, and I love that film.
And then we were going to do Akira.
No,
you wanted to do Robo Geisha.
Oh, I definitely want to do Robo Geisha at some point.
I can't watch that film. It's actually insane.
But we know what we're going to do next week, guys, and it's definitely going to be a comedy. We swear to God this time.
Well, Extraordinary arrived.
Yeah, Extraordinary arrived, and Kira said when Extraordinary arrived, we would cover it.
Yeah.
So there'll be a comedy next week.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us and give out to us for not covering a comedy yet, you can find us on Twitter at rantsmono. You can send us a Gmail. Send us a Gmail.
Send us a Gmail.
You can send us an email to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want, you can go back and listen to our first couple of episodes of MonoRants.
Oh, you're on Instagram now.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot we're on Instagram now. It's monorants_the_boys. We also have a boys podcast where we've covered every episode of season 1 and 2 and the VOT News Network 7 on 7 segments, and we will be covering Diabolical when it comes out next month as well. So, like I say, guys, we'll be back next week for undecided. Well, no, semi-decided.
It's going to be a comedy.
Yeah, it'll be a comedy. But in any case, guys, we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are MonoRants.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Sci-Fi.